So there's two ways to look at this, and Trump supporters will say, look, even if he's only raised $5, that's $5 more than anybody else. And Donald Trump is uniquely qualified to use his name and his friends who are wealthy to get behind a cause. Yeah. And he did. So what difference does it make? And in a certain way, all of that is true and justifiable. Yet, there is a long thread that runs through Donald Trump's life of aggressive, successful marketing that may or may not comport with the facts beneath the marketing. And this is a kind of a case study of that. $6 million raised, proclaimed in late January. Well, you can't find where the money's gone. And under persistent pressure from a couple of reporters at the Washington Post, for sure, this news organization and others, Trump has had lots of slippery and contradictory statements about where the money's gone, has it all been distributed, yes, no, maybe. So now he's trying to clarify exactly where, to whom, and to what effect. And that, in its own way, is Trump responding to the life of politics, where you are held accountable and pressure does consistently appear on your doorstep. You can't shake it, or you can't redirect it.
And is it the sense that that pressure, specifically from media organizations such as our own, actually compelled the distribution, if not to the degree to which he had initially claimed, but just any sort of distribution here?
Right. I think it really did. I mean, the night that Donald Trump announced himself as the presumptive Republican nominee, the first question I asked him was about the distribution of veterans' funds. And he said then, this was April 29th, it's almost all been distributed. Well, that's proven not to be the case. They didn't really know how much they had or how much they'd raised or where it had gone. And they're now trying to put forth an accounting of that is much more credible, and if not line by line, nearly line by line, to sort of say, yes, we did what we said we did. But to go back to my original point, for a lot of Trump supporters, they will say, hey, this conversation, though mildly interesting, and accountability is important and transparency is important, our guy still did it. Who else did it? Who else could do it? That's why he's our guy. And that part of the Trump story remains potent and important to remember.
These are the choppy waters for this candidate. He has said in your piece earlier today, he's not a fan of the Vietnam War. He attacked John McCain as a war hero, saying he likes people who don't get captured. It opened up another question about if that's how he feels about people who were captured. How does he feel about people who were killed in action, for instance? And now there are going to be protests the day after Memorial Day, it should also be noted. What to make of what we might see outside Trump Tower?
So Vote Vets and other Democratic-leaning and Democratic-oriented progressive veterans groups will be out front of Trump Tower saying don't use veterans as props, number one. Number two, your whole approach to the Veterans Administration is off base. They object to that. And basically try to deprive Trump of this pro-veterans moment. I mean, one of the things that's amazing about covering the Trump campaign is how irony is completely lost in so many respects. He was in Washington, D.C. Sunday for Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is a group of patriotic American motorcyclists in many ways galvanized by the issues of POWs and MIAs. Galvanized. And Trump has said he doesn't care about people captured. And yet they're all there in not complete harmony, but near complete harmony. And the irony of that to me is so striking and yet completely lost, because Trump is transcendent of things that you might ask yourself, well, wait a minute, how could Rolling Thunder get anywhere near Trump? He's disparaged people who've been captured. Your whole point is don't forget the people who've been captured, and yet there they were.
Campaign often without context, if nothing else. But I know, again, you'll be out there covering this rally, and should news warrant,
we'll be here.
You will be joining us.
Always on.
Early and often. Major Garrett.
You heard of that, right?
Major Garrett on his way to somewhere, if only Midtown today. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks.